Alright, what's going on, guys? And welcome to the Magic the Gathering Dictionary, the series where we try to define words that are common enough that you may hear them from time to time, but obscure enough to where you might need to ask what they mean. So today we're going to be talking about power creep. Now, power creep isn't a term that is unique to Magic the Gathering. This is a term that's used in any type of game with expansion sets, whether it's like an MMORPG with regular updates, or any trading card game at all. The idea behind power creep is that whenever a new expansion comes out, that company, we'll use Wizards of the Coast for example, this is the Magic Gathering channel. So whenever Wizards of the Coast or whenever a new Magic the Gathering set comes out, generally speaking, there has to be something about that set that impresses you, right? There has to be something about that where you say, wow, that's really powerful. I need to invest in that set. I need to go buy boosters. If that set is weaker or underpowered, then you might say, I don't need to put money in that. I'm not going to buy boosters. I don't need it. It's fine, right? So generally speaking, with each new set that comes out, Wizards of the Coast needs to impress you with something that is powerful. But the problem is, if sets get more and more powerful with time, then the cards get more and more powerful, and older cards become less and less useful. You know, it tends to get out of control, right? It gets more powerful with each set. Now, this set's powerful, the next set has to be more powerful, the next set after that has to be even more powerful, and you just, you kind of ramp up and you kind of just blow the game to pieces by doing that. It's really bad with MMORPGs. Like if every few months they release an update with new like armor sets and weapon sets and stuff, generally speaking, in order for those to be impressive, they have to be more powerful. But then the power of the game keeps going up and up and up and up and up, and it just becomes out of control and it becomes a huge problem. And that is called power creep. Now, in the case of Wizards of the Coast, they generally try to answer power creep by making each set powerful in one way, but weaker in another. Like, say, let's use colors for example. Currently, as I'm posting this, green is kind of out of control. Whether it's Teamer Energy or it's Carnage Tyrant, green is just really powerful. So is red. Green and red, we're in a very green and red format right now. A couple years ago, it was black with, Thoughtseize and Pack Rat and what have you. In the early days of Magic, blue was out of control. And not just by colors either, but by, like archetypes. Burn comes and goes. I remember back in Time Spiral, Burn was just out of control, and that's generally how Wizards of the Coast answers this problem, is that, they'll make Burn really powerful, and they'll make Red really powerful, but they'll make, maybe Black control a little bit weak, and they'll make Blue control a little bit weak, but then they'll make big creatures really powerful. So it's kind of like a Burn deck versus mid-range deck. Can the Burn deck get there before the big creatures come out? And then in the next format, Burn will be weakened. They'll be a little bit more expensive. They'll do a little bit less damage. Maybe the big creatures won't be too impressive. They'll be too expensive and too small. And then all of a sudden we'll have a bunch of like really good blue counter spells or black control spells. And then in the next set, all of a sudden there'll be lots of like go wide strategies and white, lots of tokens. And it just so happens that in that format there won't be any board sweepers. So the idea is that the power level just kind of comes and goes based on archetypes and colors. So anyway, that's power creep. Power creep is, as the word would suggest, creeping power. The power level of a game slowly creeping up with each individual release and making the game increasingly unplayable, or at least making old aspects of that game increasingly unplayable. Say, for example, that if power creep was a real problem in Magic the Gathering, you would, play for a year or two, and then 5 years from now, you'd go to jump in the game and all your cards would be useless because the game would be, the power level of the game would be so high. Same thing goes with like an MMORPG. Let's say you play an MMORPG for, let's say, 5 years, and then you quit for 2 years and you come back and you find that all of your equipment is useless. Everything's more powerful. Not only is it useless, but it's worthless because it's not the most powerful set in the game anymore. That's the problem with power creep, is that you're consistently trying to wow your audience with, new powerful stuff, but you're also kind of destroying your game in the process. It's very important for a game, whether it's a video game or a card game, to wow the audience with increasing power without actually increasing the power of the game, because you can destroy it in that process. You have to try to find a way to balance it. And obviously, there is some power creep in Magic. The power level of cards today compared to what they were, 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, it's definitely, things are more powerful, things are faster, the game's faster. There's no question about that. So, yeah, definitely there is issues with that. But generally speaking, they do try to keep it down a bit. And when things do get too powerful, we do see like a reset button hit. We saw that with, like, say, Champions of Kamigawa. Really weak set, right? They kind of hit the reset button, they put it the power level way down, and then it kind of creeped back up again. We saw that with Return to Ravnica. That set was very weak, so they kind of hit the reset button there. Caused the power level to just plummet, and then it slowly crept back up. Currently, we might be peaking again. Kaladesh and Amonkhet both seem a little bit powerful. Not Amonkhet so much, but definitely Kaladesh. And Ixalan seems a little bit weaker. So we might be hitting the reset button again. So that's a good thing. That's what we want. It's good that Wizards of the Coast is aware of that and they try to answer it. So yeah, players tend to complain when a set is weak. They complained about Kamigawa, they complained about Return to Ravnica and Theros. But it's a good thing that every once in a while the reset button is hit, and we just kind of restart and we just reset the power level, bring it all the way back down, and then start working our way back up again. That's fine. That's a good thing, because power creep is always an issue and it's good to answer it. So hopefully that helps you guys understand what power creep is. This is the first video in a series that I may or may not do. I guess it depends on how well this video does. Let me know if you like this. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.